Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
Good Tuesday morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Today is the 24th of June, 2025. JW signing on. Jason Williams in your company. I'm here with the amazing team. We go until 8, and there is lots to talk about this morning. I mean, obviously, every Tuesday it is action-packed. And the second hour, there is the emphasis on technology. And we, as always, bring our conversation on cancer with that push towards hope and survivorship, and really giving the key stories to inspire those who might be going through or who would have had to treat with this in the past. So that's happening inside the second hour, but we want to get off to a bumper start. As always, we head to the front page, today's Guardian. And when I saw this on the news last night, I could not believe it. I said, wow, what an interesting twist here, because we remember a couple months ago when the then commissioner was also under probe. The person at the center was indeed Deputy Commissioner of Police Suzette Martin. But it seems there's a flipping of the script this morning, well, at least yesterday. And the newly appointed commissioner, talking to media yesterday, said that yes, this brief came to him last week, a matter of fact, when same day I think he was doing the swearing-in ceremony there at the police academy. And because of that now, obviously, it's going to be a probe, a deeper investigation. The due diligence process will transpire. And I'm sure in the days, weeks, probably months ahead, we will get a particular judgment as it pertains to if she's still on the job. Yes, that's the answer. No suspension. She remains at the helm, performing her duties. But this, just like the last commissioner, will not sit right with anyone at the middle of such a probe. It's one that will ride your chest, cast sleep. Now remember, this is your name, at least with the previous commissioner, Ola here with Christopher. She got the all clear, and obviously, you know, that vindication. But sometimes when your name is tossing up with this kind of probe and investigation, it's very damaging, as it were, to character. But nonetheless, there will be, I hope, a fair analysis, and they'll do that deeper investigation, because that particular story out of Barbados keeps on coming up. It's like a recurring decibel, you know, just one of those stories that we never really, you're hearing different sides of the particular story. And again, it's that deeper look into the DCP's conduct in Brent Thomas, the quote-unquote abduction from Barbados. And that story, as mentioned, it develops more on page 5. But what a twist here. I tell you, it's never a dull moment here in Trinidad and Tobago, and you never know what could turn up via the news cycle. On a more positive note, yesterday, the marching and the movement of soldiers, people probably is wondering, hey, what causing all this? Because they would have blocked off traffic. I know they locked off parts of Frederick Street, and, you know, the cadets and everybody else were heading down. It was part of the city celebration. The Trinidad and Tobago Cadet Force band members march along Frederick Street, Port of Spain. Of course, this was City Day, the big parade yesterday, hosted by the Port of Spain City Corporation in celebration of its 11th anniversary yesterday. So yes, we have been a city for 111 years. I'm sure major developments. Yes, certain iconic buildings remain in the city. The Catholic Cathedral, the Anglican Cathedral, there's the other church around the Queen's Park Savannah, Woodford Square, you know, so many iconic parts of the city still standing. Yes, there's been major development. But the city itself, and I think I could speak not on behalf of everyone, but from my observation, walking through Port of Spain back in the 90s, knowing what it was as a little boy in the 80s, and there are many looking on would have known Port of Spain and the vibrant gem that it represented even prior to the decades I just mentioned. I find the city to be a bit dreary these days. Yes, lots of great stores, great shopping still in Port of Spain. I mean, obviously, some of the best deals you'll get in Port of Spain compared to, let's say, the shopping malls. But there seems to be a particular pace, people just trying to get from point A to point B. There is the fear of, obviously, crime and people snatching purse and grabbing stuff. Obviously, they've been asking for a long time, that's the merchants, those who have their businesses in the city, for a greater police presence. I must say I've seen in recent time, you know, they're improving in that regard. But the city itself, there are parts of the city that really needs not only a facelift, but it needs a bath. Yes, parts of the city need water and disinfectant. And there's lots of underlying issues. I know the mayor is obviously trying his very best. We have a young, vibrant mayor, but we need to, I'll probably hear a little more from the mayor. I know him a long time, you know, from since school days, a matter of fact. We go back since we were all in khaki pants. So this is another open invitation. He says that once he gets some time, he'll join me, and I hope we could probably have Mayor Allen at some point soon, just to give his overview, his perspective on the city. But again, a city with limitless potential. You know, it's Port of Spain after all. This is our capital city. We have seen development happening more towards the west of Port of Spain. Lots of developments happening. You know, Port of Spain West and Ryson Road and beyond, and things extending now into Woodbrook. We have heard of at least plans for the East Port of Spain development for quite a while, not really seeing it fulfill its particular mandate just yet. But again, our city, 111 years, it's our capital. It's Port of Spain. I was in the city up to yesterday, working with some colleagues from work. As mentioned, great shopping, lots of love still, but there is not the same energy I would have felt as a schoolboy. I don't know if probably as I get older, you might watch the city through different lens, but I don't know. You could probably tell me what you think about the city. But I know for sure there are parts that definitely need a wash down, and it's not really any other issue. Well, I don't want to say any other issue. The issue really is obviously that homeless scenario, the socially displaced, a greater issue where I think that in itself needs a bigger intervention from probably a ministry level. And that collaboration, hopefully, between the ministry and the corporation to try to treat with that, because, you know, there are people, when we come into work very early, taking a shower right by the drain here, you know, literally meters away from the parliament. And you have to kind of consider their school children, their youngsters in their parents' car, or walking with parents to go to school. And that is something where you see people taking a shower in a drain that hour of the morning. It's not the best imagery while you prepare yourself to go to school, or even for the adults who go to work, because funny enough, we tend to just ignore, we tend to just look. It's like it's happening and it's like we almost block it out. So there is, again, great potential in the city, as mentioned, a young, vibrant mayor. We wish him the best, and I would love to have him on to hear some of the major plans. Let's head across to the PNM internal elections. Let's head to page 7 inside today's Guardian, and let me identify the winners. Of course, they're going to have another coming together, from what I understand, this weekend, where I guess everybody will be officially revealed. Now, what we can say is that the voter turnout was rather low. Just about 7,000 members went to vote over the weekend, and I'm looking at some of the results and some of the key positions. So the new chairman, the chairman in waiting now, will be Marvin Gonzalez. The vice chairman, Dr. Amory Brown. Lady vice chairman, Dr. Nyan Gatsby-Dolly. The general secretary, the incumbent, he holds on to his seat, that's Foster Cummings. The assistant general secretary is now Patricia Alexis. Treasurer, Nal Ramsingh. Education officer, Dr. Jelani Reed. PRO, Faris Alwari. Social media officer, Simon Dinabraga. Election officer, Indar Parasram. Field officer, Curtis Shade. The welfare officer is now Maxine Richards. Youth officer, Kareem Marcel. Operations Officer Irene Hines, and Labor Relations Officer Kenneth Dioraj. Of course, you're going to see the full breakdown here on page 7 as to who came second, third in some regards, the amount of votes. And yeah, it's all here. As of course, Penelope Beckles, the opposition leader and the political leader in waiting, she says a new mandate is, well, at least the new mandate, she says, is a signal for unity and reform. So that story here on page 7 as it pertains to Tobago, THA and their budget review. They are going to seek, or at least asking for, $3.7 billion to run its affairs. And history was made. The first finance secretary, female finance secretary, I saw Ms. Patel Roberts a couple of weeks ago, very pleasant. So she was on her feet giving the mandate for Tobago's financial affairs and giving the breakdown. So that story here on page 6. Let's head to the back page. A couple of other developments, but I'll try to get to that later when we open the lines for our call-in segment. We call it the Open Forum. So finally, West Indies women, oh yes, we take her serious. I'm so happy because let me tell you, it was really a kind of a seesaw up and down with the women West Indies team, and I know we were kind of on the losing end for quite a while. So finally, Matthews, Campbell, they still West Indies women to a thrilling series-winning victory over South Africa. Well done. Happy for the girls. Lots of talent there. I'm just hoping we could stay a little more consistent with the performance. Also, as said here by the Guardian Sports page, the Thunder rose. I mentioned that yesterday. Congratulations to the Oklahoma Thunder, the City Thunder. And they are, well, NBA champions. Yeah, so good for them. Of course, the FIFA Club World Cup is heating up. Lots of great games, ending of the group stage, and of course the next phase is going to be the knockout round. So that in itself is bringing lots of people out. You're looking at the games and you're seeing a massive turnout for this, you know, FIFA Club World Cup, new format and new and improved, I would say. And of course the Gold Cup action continues via the quarterfinals. So look out for that. It's again ending the Gold Cup, that is, on July 6th. Let's head now to the brief because there is lots to unpack this morning. By the way, let me tell you, Michael Anisette, General Secretary of NATUC, he's going to join me. He joins me this morning for us to have a deeper discussion concerning issues via the labor movement. So let's move on. Again, Mayor pledges help. Oh, you see, look, he says help for homeless at City Day celebrations. So again, this is a good look. I would have, you know, made mention this morning of one of the major issues that is plaguing the city. And with that homeless issue, again, comes the smell and just the visual. Now, again, don't get me wrong. There are places like San Francisco, there are parts of the world, big cities all over the world going through the same issue. But I think it's one that we can fix, you know, and we have to really start to take care of our own. So I look forward, if indeed the mayor I've got some time, whether it be this week, next week, if you can join me in person or on Zoom to give us some of the greater plans. And also, jewelry vendor here, you know, having a nice little interaction here at her booth during the youth vendor market at Queen's Hall. This was held last Friday. Fantastic stuff indeed. With that being said, we'll try to get into some calls. I've been given the okay to run the calls early this morning as we await the arrival of course, Michael Anisette from NATUC, General Secretary. So we come back, we open the lines, give you a chance to weigh in. See you soon.
Have you ever experienced an unexpected power outage? The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management has some important and simple tips to help you and your loved ones be better prepared for a power outage in the event of a disaster. 1. Ensure that you have candles and extra torchlights as alternate sources of lighting. 2. Keep fully charged power banks to recharge your devices. 3. Use hand-cranked radios to receive updates from official sources. 4. If possible, keep a power generator or AC inverter that can be connected to a car battery to use as an alternate source of power. 5. Ensure your grab-and-go bags and home emergency kits are packed and ready. The ODPM wants you and your loved ones to be better prepared. For more information, visit www.odpm.gov.tt. A message from the ODPM.
At Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, we are committed to providing quality products for all major building projects. Let's build together with rebars and beams, VRC coils and mats, RHS and angles, roofing sheets and purlins, lumber, plywood and MDF. Bagwansing's, building homes, building communities, building TNT for over 60 years. Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, building value every day.
Get the best and affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Crack the science of stronger hair. New Fructis with keratin, protein, or biotin in reloaded systems. Up to 72 hours frizz control, 48 hours definition, or 72 hours thicker looking hair. New Fructis by Garnier, naturally.
Attention all listeners, are you ready for the ultimate news experience? Introducing the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, the nation's first and most subscribed newspaper. We deliver where others can't. With the widest delivery network in TNT, you can have the Guardian delivered right to your doorstep or office every single day. Take advantage of our special annual subscription offer so you can stay on top of the leading stories even when you're on the go. Sign up today. Time is running out. Inquire about our 3-month and 6-month packages as well.
AI has leapt from the pages of science fiction to become a critical part of our everyday lives.
AI is already all around us. Your phone, your TV, your computer, your car has some AI in it. It's here today already. It's not some future thing. It's all around us. But it's just the beginning.
So welcome back. We're going to open the lines, give you a chance to touch base. I'll let you know what the mayor of Port of Spain would have mentioned yesterday for the City Day celebrations. Now, there is, for those who don't know, the mayor confirmed that there is indeed a facility, all right? Again, the Port of Spain Corporation, they have put, well, at least there is a facility right now. It's they're still working on the facility. It's an assessment center, and it's located in South Key. It's expected to be a critical facility to support street dwellers in the heart of the capital. They've been working closely with central government on this assessment center. Again, it's currently being built at South Key, and it's going to not only offer just shelter, but it's going to try to help those who are indeed vulnerable, and again, providing temporary shelter, showers, restrooms, and mental health support. Also referrals for housing and employment. So you see, that's to me a step in the right direction, and that is something that, well, he says there's still work being done on the particular center. But the street dwelling scenario, if indeed able to get this model correct in Port of Spain, we could now take this to, let's say, Sando, Grandy, all the major hubs where, well, you see, and I mentioned Grandy, where we have people who, lots of homeless, boy, all over. It's really a severe reality at this point in time. Let's welcome Grandy. Grandy, good morning.
Yes, good morning, JW.
Welcome, Grandy. I'm listening.
Yeah, yesterday and the day before, that sometime last week, I was glued to the television, I guess, probably when you reach this age, you have nothing much more to do. So I was able to take in the debate and listen to the presentations of both sides.
Yes. What were your observations? What were your findings?
Yeah, well, I was tempted to ask, is the People's National Movement still a national movement?
Explain, elaborate.
Yeah, well, I looked at the members seated in the House of Representatives, I've looked at the choice of senators chosen by the political leader, and all they will say that's the new day and whatever. I have no choice but to ask if the party is still a national movement. Because if you look at the composition of the senators, you can't tell me that there could not have been a greater distribution. Okay, the people would have voted and the candidates who would have been chosen would have been voted into office or whatever. But the choice of senators, one would have thought that there would have been a greater, and while it's only 6 that the leader of the opposition is privileged to choose. But it does not reflect the fact that it's boasted over the years as being a national movement. So I just thought I should bring that to your attention. I don't expect you to give me an answer, but as I say, probably somebody may offer some explanation as to why, being a national movement for 70 years, they continue to project this image, particularly when they're in the process of rebuilding.
Yeah.
So do have a pleasant day.
Yes, of course, and thank you, Grandy. I mean, that's obvious. That's observation, and you know, your eye is not deceiving you at all, Grandy. I mean, I've heard other people make that particular commentary. Again, the only person that can really answer or give us a reasoning behind the particular makeup of the, I guess, the senators, those in the upper house, would indeed be the opposition leader and now political leader in waiting. But indeed, I understand where, as everything else in Trinidad, and we see it via the commercials on TV, via any kind of showcase, you need to at least, there is always that attempt to have that balance or to reflect the plural makeup that is indeed Trinidad and Tobago, and give everyone, at least visually, via the optics, the opportunity to see someone who looks like them. So yes, it's always a delicate balance in a plural society, a multicultural, multiracial society like Trinidad and Tobago. There will always be criticisms if indeed people don't see that particular reflection. A matter of fact, I heard that argument recently even with the football team, Soca Warriors, where there are those who are suggesting, well, there must be, well, firstly, people were asking, they want some, they say they have talented Venezuelans in the country to give them the paper so they could run out. So that's a whole different conversation, right? Because, I mean, the actual Venezuela team is not a bad team at all, but because they're in that particular grouping with South American giants like Brazil and Argentina and Uruguay, it's always going to be a tall order for them, but, you know, they're not looking too bad this round. But it's a whole different conversation, but I'm just talking about the nationals, those who actually born, grow up here, or even the first generation children of parents who are from Trinidad. The team is not really, well, there's not me saying so. There were people putting the argument to me that they find the team doesn't reflect the overall look and feel that is Trinidad and Tobago. I think we have Lockett on the line.
Hi, good morning, Jason.
Good morning. Is it what, Lockett on the side?
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, good morning. Welcome, welcome.
The last caller talking about the makeup of the PNM senators, I disagree with what is being said. I am concerned about the board appointments. I am not seeing it a reflection of our country. So that's just my contribution this morning.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for calling. Now, in terms of the board appointments, Barry Padarat, Member of Parliament and Minister, he mentioned that, now again I'm paraphrasing, he was at some cultural show over the weekend, and, well, you know, when they put the mic by Minister Padarat, he will speak, and he mentioned that it's early days, they're trying to get the balance correct. A matter of fact, caller, and I want you to stay looking and listening to the program this morning, Michael Anisette was actually coming to treat with that particular issue. But I'm hearing through the grapevine that there would have been talks and discussions, closed-door discussions, and from what I'm hearing now, because of your concern, caller, and many who would have had that same concern, apparently some of these boards will now reflect that balanced, you know, multicultural and multi-racial makeup that is Trinidad and Tobago, because indeed, caller, that was also a concern and an observation. So when Mr. Anisette comes into the studio this morning, I think he's stuck in some traffic. Caller, trust me, I will put forward that question as to if indeed what I'm hearing about this balanced board setup, if indeed that's a reality. Because again, they're still, making appointments. A lot. I mean, if it's one thing when a government change, the amount of appointments and changing of the guards, it is unprecedented. I mean, we're not just talking here on a local level with boards and, ministers and junior ministers. We're even talking international appointments, all those who are, ambassador and who doing all those state agents who doing work overseas. Sometimes they and all get their particular appointment revoked and they have to send somebody new to treat with the business of Trinidad and Tobago. So let's just, caller, I want to take you. I don't want to speak out of turn when it comes to MP and Minister Padarat. I want to take it to his particular statement on these said boards and tell me if this is an explanation that's sitting well with you. Let's take it across to Minister Padarat.
I know the Prime Minister has spoken to several of the union heads to send to the government representatives that they wish to have appointed to state boards so that we have the labor component in there. With respect to the other issues Ms. Anisette has raised, as I've said, it's early days. We have just started, and therefore we will take into consideration, many of which, as we have already taken into consideration, we are ensuring that all boards have a balance in terms of gender, ethnicity, etc.
Yeah, so, I remember I saw that on the news over the weekend. He was at some cultural event, and yeah, this particular issue with the boards, it was a talking point. So he says, early days, let's wait and see. And I guess Mr. Anisette, when he steps in, he could confirm if indeed from their particular, because remember, Mr. Anisette on the inside, so he will know, and he will tell us. Faizabad, good morning.
Good morning, my brother Jason. How are you today?
I'm fine, Faizo. I'm looking forward to your commentary. Go ahead.
I'm hoping it's not an anxiety attack that Mr. Anisette is suffering, because it's early days, as you just said. And, if it is what he's saying is the reality, it's unfortunate. Because I remember it's the same type of behavior, again, if it's reality, that destroyed the NAR. I remember Mr. Pandey having a serious issue with Mr. Robinson and board appointment. And that is one of the issues that would have led to the breaking up of the NAR government. But, we have to be careful. The coalition, sometimes people feel because they are part of they carry a certain amount of power and weight, which is sometimes, they start to overreact with that little opportunity, because it happened prior to this with, I don't know if you can remember, with Mr. Abdullah.
Well, Mr. Abdullah was the first to depart the partnership back in 2010.
Exactly.
He was the first to leave. But remember, but honestly, Mr. Abdullah, when you talk to Abdullah Faizabad, I'll tell you this really quick, and I want you to finish your commentary.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yes, part of it was to do with, I guess, the makeup of some of the appointments, but part of it too was to do with, he said things he was seeing, certain movements that was happening, that it wasn't settling on his soul. And he could not be a part, he couldn't be a part of that kind of...
My brother, I have other information that I can reveal to you that is damning, but I would like to do that personally to you when you come to Faizabad.
Okay, we'll have that one-on-one discussion when I see you.
We will have that one-on-one discussion. So let's not be alarmed. You understand what I'm saying? But I hope you structure some questions to Mr. Anisette this morning that will really point out and educate the general public with respect to his comment, my brother.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
All the best, Faizo. Faizo, an avid supporter and, I'll have to say at this point in time, commentator, because we have Faizo, we have Santa Cruz, we have our friend there from Shogunas. I think it's El Socorro. These are men that are always consistent. They come with the commentary. Sometimes it's very sharp. We mightn't agree all the time, but I'm happy that they're still able to speak their particular truth, because that's what the open forum is about, a chance for you to express yourself and sometimes bring a different perspective, because I wouldn't know it all. I would give my particular perspective. I try to see it through a balanced lens, but there are others who will bring in certain hard facts. And I don't have to sit down and say, well, you know what? Hey, what I could say, I can't even argue. You have to just, understand that, there is room for improvement, and we want, ultimately, at the end of the day, I think regardless of where you are via the political divide, I think we could all agree that we want for Trinidad and Tobago, this country that we live, that we love, to fulfill its true potential, to be the best we could be. Let's take a break and we come back with more. See you soon.
There's a powerful switch inside your body, AMPK. It tells your system to burn fat, balance blood sugar, and boost energy. Berberine Plus activates AMPK naturally, supporting metabolism, weight management, and healthy insulin function. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus, powered by AMPK, perfected by nature.
Are you ready to innovate, create, and lead? Welcome to Innovation Nation 2025, where big ideas turn into real-world solutions. This is your time to shine. Join Innovation Nation 2025 and shape the future one idea at a time. Registration ends Wednesday, June 30th.
ChatGPT, I'm falling.
Failing grades? Contact Student Hub.
I ain't say failing, I say falling.
Then it's time to stop failing. Student Hub helps students succeed online. If school feels like a free fall, Student Hub helps you land on top.
When I am with my friends and those pains that knock me down arrive, I take Panadol Ultra because it relieves fast 5 types of tough pain and it does not irritate the stomach. That's why my choice is always Panadol Ultra to feel relief quickly and enjoy every second. Panadol, release starts here.
.25 moving up to the 7 o'clock hour. Now I'm hearing this talk that the rest of the week into the weekend is going to be extremely wet. I think the only man to truly confirm and give us the real scoop is indeed our weather anchor and meteorologist, Jamark. So let's touch in and check out our world weather wrap to get the latest via our weather. Jamark, good morning.
Good morning. In today's weather wrap, we head over to the central U.S., where in the midst of a dangerous heat wave, there have been reports of high temperatures damaging roads and highways. Authorities in South Dakota said concrete buckled in parts of Interstate 29 and also in Broomfield, Colorado. Authorities said another road buckled in southeast Lincoln in Nebraska. Police there said one officer helped direct traffic in the 100-degree heat to prevent drivers from damaging their vehicles. There were more reports of heat-related roadway damage in states including Wisconsin and Missouri. It comes as a potent heat dome is building over the U.S. A level 4 of 4 extreme heat risk is in place through at least Thursday. It stretches from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic and includes some parts of the Northeast. Now we head over to Greece, where a state of emergency was declared on Chios Island, with hundreds of firefighters battling wildfires for a second day as winds further whipped up the blaze, causing power cuts and the evacuation of residents. The Climate Crisis and Civil Protection Minister said that the situation since yesterday on the island is quite difficult because they constantly have new fronts and resurgences, and the climatic conditions are not favorable. He confirmed that 170 more firefighters will reinforce 11 teams of about 190 firefighters deployed on the island in the northeastern Aegean Sea, who were trying to prevent the fires from spreading to homes and areas known for producing mastiha, a natural resin harvested from mastic trees. Wind gusts complicated efforts to extinguish the wildfires, which have razed forests and pasture land as they barrel towards the north, west, and south of Chios town, the island's capital. This caused power cuts and forced hundreds of villagers to flee to safety. Sitting at Europe's southernmost tip, Greece has felt the economic and environmental impact of frequent wildfires in recent years. The country has spent hundreds of millions of euros to compensate households and farmers for damage related to extreme weather and to update firefighting equipment. It has hired a record number of firefighters this year, some 18,000 of them, in anticipation of a challenging fire season. Now let's head back to home where we have the yellow level high wind alert in effect. Now the Met Office has advised of the high potential for gusts exceeding 55 kilometers per hour. These gusts are capable of displacing unsecured roofs and can even topple trees or weak structures. Sea conditions are expected to be agitated during this period as well. Now for today's forecast, we can expect a mostly fair but breezy day, and it'll be a bit hazy as the Saharan dust returns. Now some isolated showers are likely during the course of the day, and remember the gusts are possible near those showers. That's all for today's weather up. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Jean-Marc. Comrade Michael Anisette joins me, and we're going to have a very impactful, as always, conversation straight up until the 7 o'clock hour. Labor Day recap and just an overview. Michael Anisette, he joins me next.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order.
Downy Unstoppables are laundry scent boosters. Add a cupful before each wash and you'll be amazed. The blast of freshness that lasts and lasts. Whoa, what a blast! Even at the end of the day, you'll still be enjoying that blast of freshness in your clothes. Downy Unstoppables, the blast of freshness that lasts and lasts.
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need. Ready to turn heads and steal the spotlight? Then head to Rosari Bridal Couture, your all-in-one fashion destination for every celebration. From stunning bridal lehengas to simple everyday showers, sparkling jewelry, affordable kids wear, stylish Muslim clothing, and even puja essentials, we've got it all under one roof. Get free footwear with any bridal outfit and get free matching bangles with kids wear. Need the perfect fit? Our in-house tailor is here for you. We're open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just take the Southern Highway to Brentwood, Chaguanas and call 723-9099 for more info. Rosari Bridal Couture, where fashion meets celebration, all inclusive.
I'm looking for a magic for this disaster of a war.
You need a master plan.
A what?
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion. It stands up to our wicked sun and crazy rain. It shields against fading, protects against mildew, and is crack resistant. This paint so tough that it is tried and tested against British standards and formulated with European raw material.
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion, the premium outdoor paint that protects and shields against fading. Available at hardware and Kaleidoscope color shops nationwide.
As promised, Comrade Michael Anisette joins me on set this morning. I always thank him for the extra effort to be here with me live, because obviously we could also have this conversation like we would have done many times via this Zoom, but it's a different energy, a different dynamic when the guest is actually here with me. And I want to thank you, Comrade, for the time. I want to start off with a statement recently. I know we'll get into some of the Labor Day, the recap, as it were, with the parade last week and all that transpired and what will transpire coming out of some of the major discussions. But I know there was a call for diversity. You made the call for diversity regarding the state boards, and I saw that Minister Padarat made a public pronouncement on that recently that seems to lean towards taking heed as to what you would have put in the public domain.
Let me say first, let me thank the government for listening to what Labour had to say, because I was talking on behalf of the National Trade Union Centre, and there was a lot of concerns from my executive over the board appointments. I mean, it was obvious. They were saying that we vote because my board, and when I say my board, the executive had some concerns of support. I had to convince them, and they're saying that we are seeing the same.
Does it not took the board?
Yeah, National Trade Union Centre executive, I should say. All right, and they say the cronyism and nepotism is still pervading. And when we saw several institutions like MTS, WASA board, TNTech board, and TNCT board, where you have union recognition, and no members of the labor movement was placed on that. Obviously, that raised a red flag. So let me thank the minister for giving the assurance publicly, because I know in another dispensation, if that statement would have been made, I know what would have happened when the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, they would not have listened to Labour. But the fact that they listened to Labour and they publicly said they are going to address the issue speaks volume, and I want to publicly thank them, because our role as the Labour movement, I want to make it clear, is to keep a focused eye on what is happening. We supported the UNC, a lot of unions, including seamen and waterfront workers, on the basis that we needed changes, not exchanges. And therefore, we want to see some fundamental change in governance, in how we do business, and how the society progress, where you have a human-centered economic policies and where labor will be treated with respect and dignity.
Understood. And I saw that even last week it was something rather historic, where the Prime Minister, sitting Prime Minister, for the first time made their way down to the Labor Day parade, addressing the audience in Faizabad. A very fundamental moment. I mean, there are many who might look at it as probably optics, it's still early days, but from your standpoint, what you thought of that particular move, and more so the address and the mandate set by the Prime Minister last week?
All right, well, as you correctly say, it was historical. It was the first ever that a government was invited to be part of a Labor Day celebration, and most of the ministers came and sat on the platform to be part of the Labor Day celebration. And I think that is historic, and again, it sends the right signal, right, to the trade union movement. But as I say, I'm cautious in the sense then that we want to see deliverables. I know they will say it will take time, but there are some low-hanging fruits that we anticipate that must be addressed, and some was addressed, and we will continue to monitor and pay attention and to speak, as I always say, truth to power.
What's your timeline? Because yes, it is still early days, and many are saying give the government some time to settle in. But at what point the honeymoon comes to an end and people look towards tangible and real-time results?
No, well, I don't think it's a honeymoon, you know, simply because when you have workers working in 2014, salaries in 2025, the need to address that issue is critical. It is important as far as we are concerned in National Trade Union Centre. The need to settle the port workers' 12% wage increase and bring them up to date with the other port in terms of salary, it is critical. All right, because remember that agreement was negotiated in 2015 under the UNC government, and the PNM came into power, and they depressed the implementation of that agreement. And as I made the point, and I will continue to make the point, that the port generates sufficient revenue to pay their workers, and therefore it is not an issue. Another issue is National Flour Mill. I mean,
and I saw recently they had a protest.
Yes, and I want to put it in the public domain that we're having serious issue with the management of National Flour Mill. They are targeting our union representative. After this morning, I was talking to one of the union representatives where that representative, she has been employed in a particular job, and they want to transfer to another area where the management is saying they want to outsource the payroll department. And I'm making it publicly clear. I'm calling on the Minister of Finance and all the ministers, because National Flour Mill is part of NEL. That the question of outsourcing of jobs is an outdated philosophy, and we must not do things to put any worker in a recognized majority union on the breadline to bring in somebody else to do the job that they are doing.
You know, as you mentioned flour mills, because I know we recently attended a function there, and I recognize lots of companies, they're making technological investments, improving their product line, but at the same time, thankfully, maintaining the jobs. How do we keep that balance, and is there a fair toll via the unions that some jobs might become obsolete because of technological advancement and the introduction of technology and machines to do what human beings would have done?
No, that's a reality. But again, in the context of innovation, in the context of technology, in the context of changes within an economy, based on economy, if you want to say AI, and all these computers changes, when you change into something else, there is work in a different area. So the issue is that technology must not be used to displace workers, but to enhance their skill sets so they can be able to compete and work within the new technological age.
Indeed. Right now, the labor climate, because, and then again, you said you're cautiously optimistic, but at least there is a sense of, at least you're being listened to, there is that. What are the discussions like behind the scenes when we are not around the cameras, we're not rolling? Is it respectful? You're getting a sense that some of these concerns, and as you mentioned, the low-hanging fruits will be treated with soon?
All right. Let me say that in fact, even before the announcements of the general elections, we were having discussions with the leadership of the UNC to discuss what are our concerns, what kind of society that we want to build, what we want to see for workers, sales volumes. We never had that kind of discussions, with the greatest of respect, under the PNM regime. All right, but they were having those discussions because the conversation was labor and workers, the depressed, the single parents, the pensioner, all these people who are suffering needs to be taken care of. And how can we work collaboratively? How can we partner to ensure that that reality materialize? And I think that's a fundamental question, because we must have what I will want to call a human-centered economic policy, where human being becomes the pivotal point of the economic policy as opposed to profits. No, I have no issues with profits. Let me make it clear. But profits cannot and must not be the be-it-all and the end-it-all in terms of economic development. We cannot just look at the GDP growth while workers suffer. You must have a synergy between the social development, the human development, and also the GDP development.
You know, I want to ask you, and as always, when I put to labor leaders like yourself, because you will have a deeper understanding of the culture, there is this mindset, or there is this perception that those who are represented by a labor movement, those who are unionized, they will do the bare minimum. They work to rule. If the job finishes, if it's a 4 o'clock departure and there are people still in a particular department, at 4 o'clock they're gone. What's your counter argument to that, where there is this perception that those who are unionized will just do the bare minimum?
Well, that is a misrepresentation totally, and I can talk from experience. I can talk about the Port Authority, I could talk about dock workers, I could talk about National Flour Mill workers, I can talk about the Deco workers, I can talk about Angostura workers, I can talk about Whitco workers. Because there is a union and there's a partnership and a respect for the union and by extension workers, and there's this effort to treat workers with dignity and respect, and to really practice the concept of collaboration and partnership, you will see the extra efforts that are being made by those workers within the circumstances. Because when workers do not feel respected or unwanted or part of the process, you're going to find that reaction. And that is not only unionized workers. It's non-unionized workers too, because the question of respect for workers becomes critical and important in this country if we have to move forward. And I could give you examples in other countries. Singapore is an example. You know, Vietnam is an example, and I can go on and I can go on. And until management begin to understand that the days that I am the manager, do as I say, and don't see workers as part of the process, and integrate them, and make them and empower them to be creative and innovative, we're going to have the problem that we are talking about. So that issue is our culture in terms of the management. You know, like, I am the boss, do as I say. That is the issue. Now, if we change that philosophy, you're going to see changes which has been demonstrated in all the places. Call Point Lisas, or call Angostura, right? I mean, we are leaving a legacy there where we are demonstrating. Call the port, where when workers and the union are treated with the respect that they deserve, you're going to see productivity and output that is unbelievable because of the creativity and the innovativeness of workers.
Let me ask you, before we wrap things up, issues concerning the port, Shed 10 and other areas there. It seems the building, I don't know if any improvement was made. I mean, when I did business there some years ago, it did not seem fit for purpose. What are the conditions like for the port workers? Just the general physical conditions that they work under?
No, there is a need for massive and vast improvements in
infrastructural.
In infrastructural and operational infrastructure. Nobody can argue that, and I'm there for that. Is why I was making the point that port workers still go out and still give their best in circumstances where, you know, they can say, I am not working, because we can stop the port, the union, every day based on those issues, infrastructural inefficiencies, equipment that is not workable, but we still drive it, the structure and the environment that workers are called upon to work. All those things exist in the Port of Spain as I speak to you, but the operation continues. And I'm therefore, as I continue to say, because we are the face, and the first phase of economics, because we import 90% of our goods, so is the port. We have a mindset, but at the same time, the port, we are militant in the context that if you go on the wrong side, we are prepared to stand up for our rights and be respected.
Comrade Anisat, in the minute that remains, I'll give you a chance to put in your closing remarks.
All right, well, I will make my plea. We have serious issues in National Flour Mill, and I'm calling on the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance, who falls on it, and also the Minister, to look into what is happening at National Flour Mill with that management team there. All right, there is an issue that is going on that speaks to, and they send home the manager, but they have the manager working, and he has been accused, let me say accused of what I will want to call the most disgusting behavior that a man can perpetrate against his female employees. And although they send that manager home, I am advised as the president to have that manager still working online or at home. That is a total disrespect to this organization and the women, folks that he disrespected. And I am making some inquiries about it. And if that is so, the union is going to take a stand on that issue, that we will do what workers know to do best.
Comrade Anisat, thank you so much for being here this morning. I'm glad that we're getting to touch base more often, and let's keep the conversation going because issues of labor, it's of paramount importance. Indeed. We get ready for the 7 a.m. news update. See you after 7.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Shiklisha Limited, the Caribbean's largest manufacturers of plain and printed paper bags, leaders in plastic bags, vermicelli, split piece powder, and greaseproof paper, ideal for doubles, french fries, and sandwiches. Supplying stores nationwide. For quality products, trust Shiklisha Limited, 665-3336.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Beachy with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. The man accused of killing 20-year-old Savannah Dyer has been denied bail and will be remanded. Kibwe Wells, a security guard from Quarry Street, East Dry River, is charged with Dyer's murder. Her body was discovered at the side of the road in Carsonfield on June 14th. An autopsy confirmed she had been shot in the head. A video surfaced on social media allegedly showing a man confessing to her murder. Police have arrested another suspect in connection with the case. He remains under observation at the St. Anne's Psychiatric Hospital and is expected to appear in court following his release. Wells is due to reappear in court on January 26th next year. Tobago's Finance Secretary says the Tobago House of Assembly should be given no less than 5.9% of the national budget for fiscal 2026. Patalan Roberts says the figure is in keeping with the population size of the island.
Let me state here, Madam Presiding Officer, that any allocation to the THA in fiscal 2026 that is less than 5.9% will constitute a non-alleviation of the per capita expenditure inequality that has defined the national budget and its appropriation bill since 1962.
The Health Minister is expressing optimism that the upcoming visit by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will include meaningful discussions on health cooperation. Prime Minister Modi is expected to visit this country from June 30th to July 4th and engage in discussions to improve bilateral relations with Kamla Prasad Bisesa's government. Dr. Rashad Sitaran emphasized that with India's technological advances, especially in affordable healthcare, there is room for growth and partnership.
But definitely we would be looking at a partnership. In the past, we have used hospitals in India with assistance for the Children's Life Fund, and we will look to see if we could expand in terms of that avenue, as well as in other areas of health, possibly pharmaceuticals, possibly health services.
Those were your 7 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update for you at 8 a.m. right here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network.
looking for a magic for this disaster of a war.
You need a master plan.
A what?
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion. It stands up to our wicked sun and crazy rain. It shields against fading, protects against mildew, and is crack resistant. This paint so tough that it is tried and tested against British standards and formulated with European raw material.
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion, the premium outdoor paint that protects and shields against fading. Available at hardware and Kaleidoscope color shops nationwide.
Welcome to Caribbean Beauty Convention 2025. This is the first Caribbean Beauty Convention hosted in Trinidad. Join us for 2 days of exclusive and expert insights into the beauty industry in skin, makeup, nails, and hair. Hosted at the Center of Excellence, Macoya. Caribbean Beauty Convention, 29th and 30th of June 2025.
3 minutes after 7 o'clock, welcome to the second hour on this Tuesday, the 24th of June, 2025. And we touch base, as always, with Karen Rose. We get the second hour started with our digipreneur. Clearly, as you can see via the backdrop, he is back in Thailand. You know, the China adventure, I'm sure, Karen, still very much fresh on your mind. I just can't wait to hear some more about China, because from what I saw via your stories, you went about 30 years into the future, bro. That looked like something out of the Jetsons. Seeing a drone bringing food to a particular facility. Hold on, a drone, Karen, was bringing food? Like you order something and a drone bring it from far beyond?
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? So you see how we have food drop, right? So we already know the limitation of food drop is, you know, somebody's driving a car, right? So it might not be able to get to certain spaces because it's limited. So where we were in a park, no vehicles anywhere near us. So imagine you're by the park, you're sitting by the lake, and you feel for a little cappuccino or a little iced tea. So you log into WeChat, you find any one of the restaurants, you place your order, and then within 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how far the place is and where you are, the drone will come to the nearest drone station closest to you, because they're all over the place. So you have to find the closest one to you from where you are, send it to that location. It then brings the entire package. It lands on the base, and the base collects the package, right? But the base is a secure locker. So you have to go up to the touch screen, and you have to put in your order number, because you're going to get that from the app. Put in your order number, and that's how it knows to open up and give you your specific package.
Interesting. What else was blow mind via the China experience, Karen?
Let me take it a step further. So all of that, what I just said, is happening right now. Here's what the next step is, and this is what I was telling you off air. I got to watch a concept at Mobile World Congress. So Mobile World Congress is the biggest tech show, and this is where all the tech companies from around the world, they come and they show off their stuff. But the MWC in Shanghai is mainly geared towards the Asian market, because they're on more advanced networks than the rest of us, right? So they can do a little bit more crazy things. So I saw they have a combo where a drone brings the packages. But since so many people live in condos now, the package can't get to that person. So what they're doing is they've now built a robot that's a companion to the drone that will then meet at the destination where the package will be dropped. The drone or the robot is then going to pick up the package and bring it all the way up your condo to your door. And the fact that I seen that is absolutely insane. But it's a concept, so it's something that they are working on to bring to market here in China.
Rather interesting. Now, I just had Michael Anisette from the union leader here with me.
Yes.
Any observations via, you know, that labor intensified and labor intense country that is China? Because we know, I mean, most things, I mean, when you look at the label made in China, so I'm sure their labor movement there, it's in the millions upon millions. What was the observation labor-wise in terms of just watching people, how they work? Not machines, we're just talking here now about people working.
Yes, so let's start with the philosophy, because this was the biggest paradigm shift that I had the entire trip. whilst I was getting tour of the behind the scenes of the command centers of Huawei, right? China has multiple live smart cities. So I was in Shenzhen and I was in the command center watching how the entire city works. They're tracking down to the rainfall in pipes and everything, right? So anyways, the girl that was walking us through everything said that the philosophy that China has, and pay attention, the philosophy that China has is we are looking for what are all of the jobs that are most unsafe for humans to do? Let's automate that. What are the jobs or what are the industries that we need to have 24/7 uptime, no downtime? We can't have humans slowing us down because we have to scale. Like the ports, because they have autonomous ports, and coal mining, they have autonomous coal mining machines. So looking at the most dangerous jobs, what are the jobs that need to be run 24/7, and what are the jobs that have the highest turnovers that people don't like to do, like flipping burgers, frying chicken. I even showed a story of an ice cream machine that was 100% robot making the ice cream and giving it to you. So what are the jobs that people don't like to do? And they're tackling those because they still need those jobs done. But people are not doing them and they're unsafe anyway. So now that they're automating those jobs, they are now focusing so much on research and development and creating courses and teaching in public spaces and creating other opportunities to upskill the entire nation so they could do the new jobs that are coming on board. And then on top of that, everybody can't have a job. And we spoke about how the job mindset limits people. So now that they're teaching people about business and they're teaching people, hey, we're in China. We make all the products. We have all the supplies. We have all the manufacturing. Learn how to now create products, learn how to sell to the Western market, and learn how to speak multiple languages. So I shared a video. I'll say this before you come in. I shared a video where they're in a public space. There's a group of people teaching 100 businesswomen Spanish so that they could speak English, Chinese, Mandarin, and Spanish so that they have access to the biggest markets. The fact that this is all the philosophy of how China operates is why they're not just winning on the jobs. They're building more and more small-scale entrepreneurs that are leveraging all the manufacturing and resources to sell all the products to us in the West.
Wow. Interesting. Lots to learn from the Chinese. I want to ask you, in terms of Huawei, the cell phone itself, the technology you would have seen, we of course could all agree that the cell phone, it's replaced the diary, it's replaced the alarm clock, it definitely replaced the point and shoot camera. What you would have seen via phones in that particular space that was blow mind, that probably we have not seen on a phone just yet?
Listen, it doesn't exist outside of China. So you can only see this in China. Huawei is a bigger tech company than Apple. They're a better tech company than Apple. They're a more complete company than Apple because they're building smart home products. They're building the technology in all the EVs, right? They're building all the infrastructure. So they're running right now on 5.5G and they're about to roll out 6G. That's only China. So when you're looking at Huawei, because you have the smart home, the smartphones, the watches, you have this entire ecosystem, their newly built Harmony OS, everything works in harmony. So Jason, we went and did a test drive on the self-driving car. The car can drive itself. The only thing is, right now it has, it's called a L2 certification, meaning somebody has to sit behind the wheel. But L3 certification in China means that's when the government's going to pass the new law where all cars can be self-driving and the cars just have to do an update. So what I got to witness was a guy whip out his Huawei phone and say, let's go for a test drive. And we walked to an entrance and he started the car to turn on the AC and everything. And he told the car where we were and the car drove itself to our location.
No, don't do my that man, Rose, man. Don't do my that man, Rose. Rose, hold on.
Jason, I shared the video.
The man pull out his phone and operate the car with his phone, bro?
With his phone. Just put in where we are, the car comes out the parking spot, drives up in front of us. When we parked, we just went to the closest exit and we jumped out the car. And the man is like, okay, watch this. Turn your camera on so you could film it. So I filmed it, right? He's like, the car's gonna go park itself and turn off. And the car went and parked. That same car we were in, right? That same one. The car parked itself and turned off. And Jason, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, he starts telling me about the headlights. I'm like, bro, I don't really care about the headlights. He's like, no, this is not ordinary headlights. These are smart headlights. I'm like, okay, what makes them smart? He's like, they turn into projectors. So we're on a wall, right? Now the wall is kind of bent, so we didn't get the best picture, but I shared this on the stories. You turn on a movie in your phone, and then the car can use its headlights and project the movie onto the wall or a big screen. The headlights.
Wow. Wow.
And then Jason, he's like, that's not all. He's like, let's say and that's the robotic dog we saw at MWC that can roll, play dead, run, it can jump, it can bring things, it does everything. But the guy is like, let me blow your mind. He's like, let's say you're having a date and you wanna be close to the girl, right? You wanna be close to her. He's like, then don't project outside. He's like, sit in the front seats. And then he did a 4-finger swipe because the entire dash is screen. So he does a 4-finger swipe and swipes the movie onto the windshield. And we are now listening to surround sound in the car and watching the entire movie on the windshield.
As in the front screen?
As in the front screen.
Wow, Karen, I mean...
That is what they're doing over there.
Obviously, well, again, that's the technology there in the East. You think, we who live in the West will be privy to this anytime soon because, again, from what you would have explained, and even some friends who went there earlier this year, they literally said, like, they felt they went about 10, 20 years into the future. They felt like they were actually living in the future out there in China. And clearly that's not the reality here in the West.
No. And the thing is, I say no. It's going to make it to the Middle East, but I don't see it making to the West, and not because it can't happen, but because there's a mistrust, right? The West doesn't trust the East. There's a distrust between China and these people, right? So the USA has already banned Huawei from the American markets. So that's why Huawei is no longer here. They're banned, right? They don't have the license to operate. So it's not going to come to the West. But guess what? China has given free rein to their tech companies to innovate. So all of the latest tech, they're building with their culture in mind, and they weave their culture, tradition to everything. So one of the campuses we visited, Jason, and this is to come back to the working part, and I want to end on this. One thing that Huawei has done is they said to me that Chinese parents are very proud, and when they send their kids to work and to school, they want to look at the place of school and work and be proud. So their campuses that Huawei has built look like it's in Hogwarts. You have campuses that are built like the Renaissance for inspiration. You have campuses that look like it's the year 3000, where it's trains going through everywhere, buses going through everywhere, old school trams going through everywhere, right? So they want their parents to feel good that this is where their kids work. They want that when their kids come to work, they're inspired. So Huawei invested hundreds of millions of US dollars in building out this Hogwarts-looking library where they have purchased works of art from the Ming Dynasty, 600-700 years ago, work before the Ming Dynasty. And they have this on display so that when workers come, you should be able to find spaces that, yes, to be productive, cool, everybody needs internet, but why don't you come to work and be inspired?
Wow. Karen Rose, I mean, listen, great conversation as always. I think many get a deeper understanding and perspective, and they recognize that sometimes, yes, I mean, listen, we live in the West and we get the Western perspective and Western media. But for those who are adventurous, for those who seek knowledge, experiences, they could trot to the East and see in real time what's happening. And I'm sure there are many Trinbagonians who would have also seen firsthand the technology you're speaking about. And for those like myself, I experienced it as yet. I'm even more excited to see it at some point in time. So Karen, thanks for the inspiration. All the best, stay safe, and God spare, we'll touch base again next week, Tuesday.
Thank you, Jason. As always a pleasure.
Always. Let me tell you, the way Karen talk about China and give all the details, I mean, I'm sure there are, the perfection doesn't exist anyway, so I'm sure there are probably some, points where, there must be some kind of room for improvement, but in terms of where China's at with their technology, It seems like it's second to none. And not only Karen Rose told me this, everyone from Angelo to friends who would have been there, they all sing the same chorus line, that their tech and China's vision is far beyond what we are experiencing here on the western side of the world. So with that being said, we take a pause, we come back. Let's get into the Caribbean Beauty 2025. That's right. It's a great convention. Full details ahead.
Ready to turn heads and steal the spotlight? Then head to Rosari Bridal Couture, your all-in-one fashion destination for every celebration. From stunning bridal lehengas to simple everyday showers, sparkling jewelry, affordable kids wear, stylish Muslim clothing, and even puja essentials, we've got it all under one roof. Get free footwear with any bridal outfit and get free matching bangles with kids wear. Need the perfect fit? Our in-house tailor is here for you. We're open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just take the Southern Highway to Brentwood, Chaguanas and call 723-9099 for more info. Rosari Bridal Couture, where fashion meets celebration, all inclusive.
This is not a procedure. It's just a hard-working cream.
Revitalift Triple Power with pro-retinol, hyaluronic acid, and vitamin C visibly reduces wrinkles, firms, and brightens skin in 1 week.
Ladies, it's time to ask for more.
Revitalift Triple Power by L'Oreal Paris.
Feeling drained? Struggling to keep up? It's time to take control of your wellness. On this episode of Wellness Unlocked, we're diving into the key nutrients your body needs for all-day energy and balance. With 100% or more of your daily essential vitamins, plus added chromium to support healthy blood sugar, this is complete wellness in a single soft gel. Join us as we uncover how small changes can make a big impact on your health. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on CNC3 and take the first step toward better health.
Welcome to ABC Doors and Windows, TNT's #1 destination for the best quality and widest variety of doors and windows. Enhance your space with our premium wooden, steel panels, fiberglass, and steel security doors, complemented by our aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows. Shop for the best quality and service at ABC Doors and Windows. Visit our impressive showroom at 1 Chancatrace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to get started. Trust ABC for a better choice.
Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket. Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Fresh goods on every aisle with best prices. For the best mix and market, high quality, yes, it's affordable, spacious, and customer friendly. From the farm to the cart to your plate, Southern Food Basket, good food at great prices. Come on home, everybody, don't you wait. Southern Food Basket's the best marketplace for you. Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket. Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
Get the story first. Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is mix. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
Well, if there's one thing we could all agree is here in the Caribbean, we are indeed not only beautiful via the aesthetics, but the people. And that's why I could safely say this Caribbean Beauty Convention that's going to take place on Sunday and Monday will be a tremendous success. Just to give us some details and share with us some of the intimate findings and where you could obviously get your passes, and because I'm thinking you should do the full experience Sunday and Monday. It's happening again. I'm seeing here the 29th and 30th, and we're going to get some details from the marketing coordinator for the Caribbean Beauty Convention, Jessica Suku. Jessica is here with me. Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome. And the ambassador for the Caribbean Beauty Convention, Dr. Brittany Dean. Doc, great to see you.
Great to see you as well.
Let me ask, as we get into this discussion, I mean, obviously, a convention, I'm sure, in the making for quite a while. Whose brainchild? When did it come about? And just walk me through that phase to making this now a reality.
So the Caribbean Beauty Convention, it really is the ultimate two-day beauty experience. It is something where the beauty enthusiasts, the beauty professionals, all the professionals of the beauty world. And when I say beauty, you know, it's not just outer beauty, it's our inner beauty as well. So the wellness professionals, this is something where everybody can come together, share their ideas, have their innovation seen on such a grand stage. And really and truly, this was the brainchild of Essentia Distribution. And like I said, I'm just an ambassador here. And I'm so grateful to be here telling you about this experience and letting you know about this tremendous and this revolutionary experience that we're bringing to the Caribbean.
I think transformative is the word, because what y'all are doing here could definitely grow into something that could even have a regional footprint.
Exactly, exactly. And that's why it's called the Caribbean Beauty Convention, because when we think about it, there's so many large expos in North America, in Europe, and sometimes we in the Caribbean, we don't always have access to that. And we need to create that space for our industry down here, because we have so much talent, we have so much innovation when it comes to this field. And it was important for us to create that space for people to come together, to network, to, like I said, share their ideas and share their experiences in this industry. And it's not just for the professionals alone, it's for the up-and-coming persons, the students of this field, so that they can learn from the professionals, they can network themselves, they can let themselves be seen.
Yeah, let me bring our marketing coordinator, Jessica, in. Tell me about location, timing, and more so the experience, the takeaway for those in attendance.
So we are having this convention at the Center of Excellence. We actually moved to a bigger hall so we can accommodate new and upcoming people in businesses who want to be part of our convention. So it will be on Sunday and Monday, the 29th and 30th of June from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we are just so excited because we have such a passion for this project, and the entire CBC team are just so excited to meet everyone and see what we have to offer with this first ever beauty convention.
Tell me about some of the probably local suppliers and if there's going to be a cultural element to this, because I mean it's whole day, Sunday, whole day Monday, and I'm sure, yes, people, I'm sure they will be engaged with the different exhibitors, but just give me a walkthrough as to what will be the experience throughout the entire day for those who decide to spend the entire day with you.
Yeah, so it is not only for big distributors. We have small businesses, local businesses, you know. As Dr. Dean said, we have such talented people in Trinidad. And we want to be able to create that space for the local businesses, because we have people who do handmade jewelry, who are fashion designers, who does local soaps and butters. So we want to create that space for them as well, not just the bigger distribution company.
Is it that the capacity is already that's already taken care of, or is there still space for somebody who probably hearing about it and say, "Oh my goodness, I want to get in there this weekend"? Could they still get in?
Yes, we do have some spaces, and we can accommodate, whatever size and you all need. We do have some limited spaces.
Just from your own personal observation, because I've gone to different, like those pop-up markets, and I recognize lots of people doing soaps, people doing creams, things smelling good. I'm like, wow, I didn't even realize, so many people just doing the little course and trying their hand. What's been your observation in that regard? And if it's something that I guess you think could indeed take off, especially with our local distributors and local providers?
So absolutely, you're completely correct. There are people here that are trying their hand at new things, but I mean, let's think about it. When we look at Carnival, we see all these beautiful women, we see all these beautiful costumes, but we very rarely see the people behind the scenes. And this is such a big part of our culture. So this is a chance for people to come out to exhibit what they have to offer and to learn again from the professionals in the fields, because there's so much things that CBC is going to offer this year. And one of those things would be discussions, expert panels, people who are experts in their field. So come out, learn, and of course there are going to be workshops. There's going to be many different things for people to be a part of.
I was actually going to talk about that, because business development and networking, I'm sure that's an important component.
Yeah, so we're trying to bridge that gap with the B2B and B2C, where people could come and learn more about products and learn how to get products, wholesale, all those things. So we really are trying to bridge that gap here.
Very important, the networking opportunities.
Of course.
Before we wrap things up, I want to find out where we can go to get more information and who are some of your stakeholders who made this possible.
So you can find out more information on our Instagram at Caribbean Beauty Convention, also on Facebook. You can also directly contact me at 391-7252, and some of the great sponsors that we are so grateful to have from day one, that they saw our vision, which is Rich Enterprises, Aventa K-Beauty, Signpost, Control Entertainment, Essentia, and Romeo and Juliet Distribution, and AR Visuals, and MAC Cosmetics.
Fantastic. Well said. Well done. Congrats in advance. I know it's going to be a tremendous success. Center of Excellence, Sunday and Monday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I feel they might even go a little bit beyond the 6. I just getting that feeling. And this is the Caribbean Beauty Convention. The beauty in business. Get your, I would say, season pass, and of course check them out and put yourself in a gear. Again, Dr. Dean, Jessica Suku, all the best, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You're most welcome. Indeed, we take that pause. We come back. Dr. LeBlanc joins me. Conversations on cancer. Very important talking point. We're dealing with men's screening today. Let's get that conversation going after the break.
Welcome to Caribbean Beauty Convention 2025. This is the first Caribbean Beauty Convention hosted in Trinidad. Join us for 2 days of exclusive and expert insights into the beauty industry in skin, makeup, nails, and hair. Hosted at the Center of Excellence, Macoya. Caribbean Beauty Convention, 29th and 30th of June 2025.
At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time. Or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise-In Hotel and Yachting Center.
Safety is the foundation of every strong home and business. For over 30 years, All Pro Security has been your trusted partner in protection. Innovation you can count on. Reliability you can trust. Call 299-0600. All Pro Security, protecting what matters most. Always.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
Make sure you have yourself a great investment week by viewing The Boss Report every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. during CNC3's The Morning Brew. You'll get sound financial advice, whether you're a new or experienced investor, when you view The Boss Report. CNC3, covering your world.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
So happy to have Dr. LeBlanc with me this morning, back with us on Set Conversations on Cancer. We're actually dealing with the Batting for Cancer, that major activation. But before we get into all the intimate details, just to give a little moment again to remind us men to check on ourselves. I mean, I would have done exactly that with Dr. LeBlanc. She is, I could safely say, I could say publicly now, she's not my doctor, right? Who vex loss.
There goes the confidentiality.
but still, you know, what happened, my doc actually retired. And I think by doing the program, you know, I have to walk the talk. I can't be here every Tuesday. We're having these strong conversations, and I myself don't do my checkups. So, you know, in that regard, you would have inspired even me, because I honestly, I would kind of go biannually, to be quite honest, every probably 2 years. I'll visit sometimes the dentist way more than the doctor, and I'm telling myself, you know, because we're having these strong conversations, I need to, especially I'm in my 40s now, I need to, you know, make sure all is well.
Getting up there.
Yeah, getting up there now. I don't feel it all the time. Sometimes I feel it, but nonetheless, I think you made me feel comfortable, and I wanted to just express that.
Oh gosh, thank you so much. And you know, a lot of people see me on the road, and they really appreciate what we do. The fact is that the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society aims through this program to really bring awareness, empowerment to the population, and really debunk the myths, dare I say, so that you have clarity on what we can do as individuals when it comes to our health, when it comes to cancer.
You know, as a man, honestly, it's just something that you really want to treat with and deal with. Sometimes a bit nervous, you know, you have to do all these tests, all this blood work, and it's just, you know, one of those things where, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like the old school hard man who will wait till the very last, right? But I guess it's just not top of mind. But I'm thinking, you know, that's what these conversations are about, to ensure
Definitely, and to have a cultural change, because the men of the Caribbean have always had that machoistic kind of approach. And so it's amazing to see how men care for their health now and are thinking about it. And so it's really good to have that cultural change and to bring more awareness to the women as well.
For sure, and preventative healthcare, you know, that's a term I would have learned from you. So good stuff. I want to head now to the big activation. If you could put the big flyer up, I'm seeing, you know, artwork and thing. Tell me, what's happening with this activation?
So this is our third, can you believe it? Our third installment.
You mean batting against? I bought batting for you.
You said for, and I knew I was going to change that.
Yeah, sorry. my apologies. My goodness.
I did a look. I said, what?
It's against. Sorry.
We're not banned for it. We're banned against it.
yeah, not for it. Against. Yeah.
This is the initiative that we started 3 years ago with the American Cancer Society. It's a fundraising event they've had worldwide for years, and we're now one of the about 47 countries worldwide that is doing what is called the Global Relay for Life. And in our case, so this is a program where we really, JW, empower the community. We bring about healthy lifestyles, education, promotion of screening, promotion of prevention for cancers, and most importantly, the hope and remembrance of those we have lost as well. So it's about survivorship, most importantly, and celebrating survivorship and showing you that there is life after a diagnosis of cancer. Yeah? So this is our third installment. Last year was our first batting against cancer, which we had down south, but this year...
Skinner Park.
Skinner Park, but this year, wait for it, we're coming up north.
Is it a night game or a day game?
It is a afternoon to evening game, and it's at the Oval, so it's the north, so you can come out. I know all the north people who didn't want to go to south, but then the south people like to come up north. Please come out and support. It's July 19th, and we start at 3 p.m., and it's amazing, a T20 cricket match, charity cricket match, and it's going to be amazing. It's where we have all-stars versus your national stars as well. So I have to take my phone because I always forget the cricketers' names, but they're my real idren and brethren. So we have like Riyad Emrit, Imran Khan, we have Jason Mohammed, Anissa Mohammed, Brittany Cooper, Leanne Kirby, to mention a few. And I want you to understand that it's men and women that are on the teams. And so it's going to be an amazing event where we come together, promoting healthy lifestyles with cricket, a sport of the Caribbean, promoting togetherness, empowerment of the community, and just having a good old time as we really show this disease that it can't win.
I remember last year for batting against cancer, there was the big ongoing debate as to whether you were going to bat, bowl, whether you were going to play. I can't recall, you ran out last year?
I did not run out. What is wrong with you? No, I told you if you want to lose, you'll put me there.
But I mean, so any consideration to run out this year?
No consideration as yet. I mean, I am a little healthier.
You didn't have girl days? You didn't play cricket back in the day?
No, do you know that when I was younger, I could not run. I had severe knee problems that I was born with. Yeah, so a little bit of my life, I guess. So I now can run because I got surgery done.
Well, clearly, I mean, you've been running to Maracas, I would even say from where you running miles. Wow, you're making up for all the...
I'm making up for the time lost. But no, really and truly, this event is one where we hope to build on it. We're so gracious to the Queen's Park Cricket Club and Dr. Nigel Camacho and his team, because they really have put out, along with Republic Bank, how could I forget, because they're our title sponsor. And you know, JW, is to come out, to have fun. Tickets are adults 120, children, let me make sure I get that right, children are 100.
And
it's easy.
And I saw via the flyer there's a package system.
Yes, so you can get packages, so they're group packages in 10, 20, and 50. So you get all kinds of giveaways, you get tickets, free tickets along with your packages as well. We have sponsorship opportunities for those in the corporate world who want to show their support for our organization.
So that package is like a corporate package, basically?
Yes, so you can call at 280-4453. Let me make sure, 280-4536 and 280-3353, or you can email us at projects@cancer.tt, and you can arrange for your group packages. Those of you who want online tickets, because for physical tickets, you call the numbers I just mentioned, 280-3353 or 280-4536. You can get online tickets at trinbagoevents.com. Yeah.
This is hardball or softball cricket, Doc?
Right, so that was the big debate. It's softball.
Okay.
Yes.
But even better reason for you to run out.
I know.
Because I love cricket, but a corkball, there's a fear that...
It hits hard, isn't it?
What? And you see my foot out 10, even though you have an pad, you still it, So.
Yes, but it's going to be amazing. Last year we had 2 T20s, but this year it's 1 T20. And you know, to have that community spirit, a good old time, to know that we are doing fundraising, which helps our operations at the Cancer Society and our screening and our education drives, but most importantly, the empowerment of the survivorship and the survivors themselves, and also empowerment of what we can do as a population in terms of prevention. And that starts with healthy lifestyles. And that starts with what we eat. It starts with activity. It starts with not smoking, not vaping. I mean, everything I've said, you know, reduction of the excess intake of alcohol. If you drink and now reduce. If you don't drink, don't start. But really and truly, JW, we have to understand and conceptualize that cancer is a lifestyle disease. And that being said, we have things that we can do in the population to combat it.
In terms of the proceeds from this venture, even when you do the bubbles, which is, I know, one of the marquee events via your calendar, where exactly do the proceeds go? What kind of improvements happen with the society?
So it's not, that's the thing, it's not about improving the society, it's increased operations.
Okay.
So it's all about us getting greater outreach to the underserved communities. We really are trying to erase that barrier to access, so equitable access to simple screening procedures in Trinidad and Tobago when it comes to cancers, increasing our clinic capacities, and really increasing our education drive and getting it home to everyone about the importance of screening as a pillar of our fight against cancer. So this goes towards all of that. We don't use the funds raised in these fundraising events for, dare I say, structural improvements or anything like that. And it's in all our financials as well. But it's all about our operations, yeah? And really trying to improve that reach and support the community. And we are your national voice against cancer, so we continue to advocate, we continue to work with the government to improve your services. The Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society offers from screening to diagnosis to counseling for cancer patients and their families to palliative care through our Vitas House Hospice, which is in St. James. So, you know, we do we offer a wide range of services to the public, but we are your voice against cancer, so that's what we do.
Well said, Dr. LeBlanc. As always, a sincere thanks. It's batting against, never for.
Never for. We're batting against cancer.
That's right. And let's put the information up. July
19th at 3 p.m. Will you be there? It's in North. Let me hear what you have
Come
now.
in for sure. Come on. I would have loved to play it, to be quite honest.
Well, you see, so who batted and rolling? So there we go.
I'd love to play.
But, you know, come on out. You know, everybody, it's going to be an amazing time. Even the rain won't stop this cricket match, you know, and we thank profusely, profoundly, from the deepest of hearts, we thank the cricketers because they have shown up. They show up, and, you know, they have become, dare I say, part of the TTCS family, and they really are helping out. I mean, however they can, and really, really exemplifying to the younger cricketers as well what it's about to be an all-round sportsman and sportswoman, dare I say.
Of course, because it's a nice mixed match.
Because
softball.
Cancer doesn't care, yes. And so the women, and Anissa and Brittany and all of that, they're amazing. And just watching them play, and it's amazing. It's just, when you come there, JW, you'll tell me after how you feel, because the community spirit, the positivity is amazing, and we're doing something good while having fun, the true Caribbean way, you know, and that's important.
Well said. I'll be there for sure on the 19th. You know, it's full support.
I hope so, and if you're not there, you know I'm going to call you out.
She will. Woo, yes, Dr. LeBlanc, you know, hey, what gonna do?
You'll be there.
I'll be there, for sure.
But Trinidad and Tobago, please come out. We're in the North, I know, and, you know, the Oval and South, don't worry, we're going to come back to South. We have bubbles in South, so, you know, please come out.
Hey, TNT, Conversations on Cancer. Remember, we're batting against, never for. Great conversation, as always. We take a pause, and we come back with our final interview to take us up till 8 o'clock. See you soon.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Low energy? Heart concerns? Migraines slowing you down? It's time to take control of your health. Join Wellness Unlocked, the series that brings expert advice and real solutions for a healthier you. In our latest episode, learn how Jameson CoQ10 can help support heart health, boost energy, and even reduce migraines. Get the science, the stories, and the steps to power up your health with CoQ10. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on CNC3 and start your wellness journey today.
Is reliable, credible, and authentic. Thank you for trusting me to bring you the news. It's a privilege to be in your homes and hearts. With every story and every newscast, CNC3 is keeping you informed and inspired. When it comes to news, we are where you are.
Well, you know, when the police credit union, they make way in the studio, it's always great to have them. I literally see the main building there from a balcony. So, you know, one of the iconic buildings there in Barataria on the main road. Well, San Juan, a matter of fact, however you want to see it. But nonetheless, great work from the police credit union. And with us, Rianne Moore. God, Rianne, great to see you. It's been quite a while.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. Glad to be back.
I'm seeing there's an activation happening. It's the Youth Academy launch, and it's, from what I'm seeing, this Thursday.
Yes, this Thursday. So before I begin, I want to say special thanks on behalf of our board of directors, our management and staff, and good morning to all viewers and proud PCU members out there.
Let's confirm it. Is that Barataria or is that San Juan?
It's Barataria.
So the official address is Barataria?
We are now the start of Barataria. We are the official landmark for Barataria.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Well, like I learned something. Wow. Because, you know, I mean, it's on Eastern Main Road, you know, San Juan.
Because FCB carries the San Juan address, but Barataria would officially
look at that. Yeah. We learned, thank you for that.
So we are now a landmark.
Fantastic. Because I remember when the building would have been in Barataria itself, right, you know, close to whatever avenue that would have been.
Tent, yes.
Right. And then, of course, you know, you all brought out, a matter of fact, you all got the ball rolling, honestly, with that kind of infrastructural change of the Eastern Main Road.
Correct.
After you all, everybody else kind of step up, eh?
Of course. They're still trying to compete, but that's all right.
Nice. So tell me, this is, I guess, something in time for the July-August. What's going on with this particular launch?
That's correct. So, I mean, we've been talking about it for quite some time. I know our board is very passionate about the Youth Academy, and we're very excited, very proud that it's finally on the way. So we're having our launch event this Thursday from 8:30 a.m. So whilst we've been doing youth membership and those type of things, we want to focus now under the Youth Academy on empowerment and education. So we have specific programs that are going to be coming out under the Youth Academy. So that's why we're so passionate about this particular project.
Yeah, when I'm seeing the website, I'm actually on the website as we speak.
Yes, so there's going to be an add-on to that website. So as a youth member, if you're interested in the Youth Academy, you'd be able to access the link. So you'll be able to read a little bit more in terms of what the Youth Academy is about. We We'll give just a little teaser today because we want to share some more information at the launch event itself. We will stream some of the information live, so look out on our social media pages if you want to hear what's happening with PCU. But we want to be able, as I said, to educate. So we have different programs that's going to be coming out under the Youth Academy. We want to be able to teach our youth with regards to not just the history of the credit union movement, but in terms of financial literacy, which we realize is a gap within our education system. So that's really very important to us. There are other pillars as well in terms of career development. So we call it higher learning. We want to be able to teach them and prepare them for that working world. And for those who are interested in entrepreneurship, we have some sessions that's going to fall under our Hustle Hub.
Excellent. As the Senior Business Development Officer, have you seen a bigger, because I know you all have been doing a nice media blitz and putting lots of information out. There's still people who, for some reason, think police credit union is just for police officers, but we know there is that component for civilians. More civilians coming in, stepping in and seeking services?
Yes, for sure. Right now, we're actually more civilian than officers at this stage.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Yes. And I guess that probably would have been part of a mandate, I'm sure.
Correct, of course, because we're looking at growth, we're looking at inclusivity. So we welcome all persons, and that movement is going to continue to happen. The brand awareness is not going to happen overnight, but you will see more from Police Credit Union, and we welcome all persons to become members of our credit union.
So this Youth Academy, this rollout is not only for Barataria, it's across the length and breadth of...
Yes, it's the beginning of a movement. That's how we would prefer to look at it. So it's a signature event. It's going to mark the start of it, yes. But it's something that's going to be happening across the country or in Tobago. Everything we will be connecting with all persons. Of course, with this digital age, I mean, the world is flat. You can connect with anyone via the internet. So we're going to be having a lot of virtual sessions and activities. So we invite everybody to just look out. Keep looking at our social media pages. We really found that this initiative is important enough that we want to share that information with persons. Parents, we invite you to enroll your children to get involved. There's so much in store coming under the Youth Academy.
Yeah, I'm watching, via your suite of products, there's something called a soft loan. Could you probably give some details as to the cap and what generally people will step in for with a soft loan?
Well, that's one of our products. So soft loan, we really consider that to help you kind of balance your expenses. So for example, if you have some sort of short-term emergency, it's a short-term facility that'll run for, let's say, about 6 months to a year to kind of hold you over, depending on what's happening in your situation at the time. Of course, there are different products and services that we'll cater for: regular vehicle financing, if you're looking at equity financing, if you're looking at debt consolidation, that's also an important one because we find a number of prisons that have different facilities in different areas, different institutions, and you feel a bit burdened by the debt, all the different commitments. So a debt consolidation loan is an excellent package if you're looking at something to kind of ease the burden.
I mean, I know we talk about the Youth Academy, but I'm just watching the website and it just kind of grabbed my attention. And if there's one thing about the Police Credit Union, I remember distinctly the home and decor segment where people could literally get the furniture from you guys and appliances.
Yes.
That component remains.
It still remains. So PCU Plus is very much up and active. They do have their own social media pages now. So we invite persons to come in, check. We have locations we have showrooms at all our locations, so Barataria, Arima, San Fernando, and Tobago. And you can access whether you're a member or not, but of course we want to welcome you to become a member of the credit union and access further discounts. There's always specials happening at PCU Plus for membership.
As we wrap things up, again, just a quick reminder about the Youth Academy, who's invited, and your timing for this grand launch on Thursday.
Wonderful. So Thursday, the 26th of June, that's our launch event. We have persons coming from the Ministry of Education and PTA, tutor. So it's a big thing for us. We're excited about it. It starts at 8:30 a.m., carded to end at 11:30 a.m., but we will be streaming information online so persons can join in and see exactly what the Youth Academy is about.
And your target audience, you're looking for young people?
Yes, so the Youth Academy is focused on the age group 25 and under. Of course, each group is going to learn differently, so we're going to have programs targeted to the specific ages.
Fantastic. Again, you heard it right here, the Police Credit Union still very much in the mix involved in the community. That's always been their mandate. Yes, for police officers who they service, I always see officers in uniform going in and out of the building, but also facilities available for civilians. And this time around, they're putting a nice package in place for the young people, 25 and under, via their youth academy. And I heard today it's official.
Yes.
The landmark Barrett area starts from where the building is, and I live in the space. I'm so happy. I didn't know. I'll bring that up, and anybody try to debate me, I'm going to tell them, Rian, say so.
Of course.
Right? check the address. Thank you so much, Rian. All the best, and thanks for being here as always.
Thank you. A pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We take a pause. We come back and officially pull the curtains down. See you soon.
Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket. Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Fresh goods on every aisle with best prices. For the best mix and market, high quality, yes. It's affordable, spacious, and customer friendly. From the farm to the cart to your plate. Southern Food Basket, good food at great prices. Come on home, everybody, don't you wait. Southern Food Basket's the best marketplace for you. Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket. Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket.
Have you ever experienced an unexpected power outage? The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management has some important and simple tips to help you and your loved ones be better prepared for a power outage in the event of a disaster. 1. Ensure that you have candles and extra torch lights as alternate sources of lighting. 2. Keep fully charged power banks to recharge your devices. 3. Use hand-cranked radios to receive updates from official sources. 4. If possible, keep a power generator or AC inverter that can be connected to a car battery to use as an alternate source of power. 5. Ensure your grab-and-go bags and home emergency kits are packed and ready. The ODPM wants you and your loved ones to be better prepared. For more information, visit www.odpm.gov.tt. A message from the ODPM.
That's right, great program today. Thank you so much for being part of it and allowing myself and the team to spend the morning with you. Of course, tomorrow we are back, God spare life, and by all means, until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and let's have ourselves a productive day, TNT. All the best.
Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of CNC3.
As